morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It's been a while since I've been on. I've been having a really hectic last couple weeks. Sick kids, doctor's appointments. First of all, I want to say that I thank God for my boyfriend that has been helping me out with my kids. Bringing them to the urgent care, dentist appointments, helping me out, because if I didn't have him, well, I wouldn't have anyone to be able to help me out with my kids. So, my daughter, a couple weeks ago on a Sunday, she got really sick. She was feeling aches and pains, and her stomach was hurting her. She never got a fever though. She had lots of chills. So the next day, on a Monday, I didn't send her to school. I asked my boyfriend if he can bring her to the urgent care since I have school. And he brought her to the urgent care, and well, actually, he brought her into the walk-in clinic. In the walk-in clinic, all they did was just check her ears. And they said that she had a inner ear infection. So he gave her some antibiotics, and he gave her a note to go back to school on a Wednesday. Wednesday came around, she still wasn't feeling good, but I told her, you only have a note. This is the way I am. My kids, they go to school if they don't have a doctor's note. I mean, they're gonna go to school if they don't have a doctor's note. So I said the doctor said that she had an inner ear infection. So she was able to go back to school, returned back to school on a Wednesday. So she returned back to school on a Wednesday. I always have my daughter texting me. She's 15. She's always constantly texting me from school. And she texted me and she told me that she wasn't feeling, she felt like she was dying. She still felt horrible. And Wednesdays, this was a Wednesday, correct? Yeah. And Wednesdays, I don't get out of school until 5:15 at night. And that same day, my sister texted me and she asked me if I can pick up her son from the high school and drop him off at his house. And I told her, well, I can do that, but I'm not going to get in town until like 6 o'clock. But if she would like, I could have my daughter walk with him home. And I asked my daughter, and she's like, oh my God, I feel so sick. I don't know if I can. I'm like, well, you know what? If that was before I knew that she wasn't feeling really, really well. And I told her, well, you know what? If you are not feeling okay, if you're not feeling that's okay. But she never answered me after that. But when I went to go pick her up, she was at my sister's house. I thought maybe she's feeling better. And when she came out, you could tell she was not feeling good at all. She looked like she had like sweaty hair, just kind of palish face. You can tell she was not feeling well at all. And when I went to go pick up my 11-year-old, she told me that her head was hurting and stuff. And by the time we got home, she told me she didn't feel good at all. So on the Thursday, I asked my boyfriend in the morning if he can take them both to the walk-in clinic. And I told him, because it seems like they would have swabbed my daughter, right? It seems like they would have swabbed her to check for any COVID or any flu. There is another urgent care that I used to go to that does not accept the insurance that we have now. But any type of sickness, they would always swab to make sure you didn't have the flu or COVID. And this walk-in clinic wasn't. So when he brought them, I told him to make sure that they swabbed them. Make sure that they swab them first to see if they have the flu. So they swabbed both of them, and then they came in and they told him, yeah, they both had the flu. And I was like, okay. So here my daughter had the flu probably since the Sunday, and then they just sent her back to school, and then so she went back to school with the flu on Wednesday. And I was like, okay, that's not okay. So the doctor gave them, this was a Thursday, and the doctor gave them a school note to return back on Monday. So yeah, that was a Thursday, right? Yeah. And then last Thursday, I had to bring my daughter to the hospital because she was having chest pains. Lots of chest pains and shortness of breath. She was talking about how she couldn't really breathe. She had to take little tiny baby steps because she wasn't able to breathe. But I know she said this was on a Thursday, and she said she started feeling a little bit that way on Monday when she returned back to school. But I know she did tell me on Wednesday, and I just told her, well, you're probably coughing so much, you probably have some broken ribs or whatever in there, it's just like, this is what I told her, sorry. I had a cough, but I wasn't wanting to let it out. But on Thursday, I was thinking, okay, you know what? My boyfriend could probably just bring her back to urgent care in the morning. And I was like, you know what? She's not going to go back to urgent care. The urgent care or the walk-in clinic doesn't really seem like they're doing anything for this. So, yeah, I brought her into the emergency. They did a x-ray and everything on her. And they came back with upper respiratory infection. Okay, she was already taking antibiotics that the doctor had given for ear infection. And so they took her off that antibiotics she was supposed to take for 10 days. And then they put her on another antibiotics that was supposed for the upper respiratory infection. So then she got put on also on an inhaler, which helped her. There at the hospital, they gave her some steroids. They gave her a breathing treatment, which helped her open up her lungs. It helped her a lot, she said. So here comes. She went back to school this Monday, right? Okay. So I'm in school. I get this text from her. No, actually, she didn't text me this time. She called me from the school. She was in the nurse's office. And she told me that she was feeling so sick. She, her stomach felt like she had a lot of, how would you say it, acid reflux. She did stay at my sister's house. She went over there on Friday. And she stayed there Friday and Saturday. And when she came back with me Saturday night, she told me that she had a lot of sour burps and stuff. So on Monday, she said that she had felt like her stomach was on fire, and it was just like coming up, and her ribs were hurting her so bad. They felt like they were on fire, and it radiated to her back. The pain just radiated to her back. She's never felt so much pain from it. And my daughter, I know if she's able to go to the nurse, she's really, really, really sick. She is very, how would you say, tolerant to pain. So she could be in school with horrible pain and still go through the day. But if she's to the point where she goes to the nurses, it's because the pain is so severe she can't take it. So I called the doctor's office and I asked them if they had an appointment with their doctor, and they said they did not. They didn't have one until Friday. And I was like, well, they said you can bring her to urgent care, the walk-in clinic. I said, you know what? I've already been there last week. This is what had happened. It didn't really look like they even knew what they were doing. So they told me, you should take her to the Children's Hospital. I said, the Children's Hospital in Madera? And they said, yes. I said, the emergency over there, which is like an hour and 20 minutes away from where we live. So I said, okay, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. So my boyfriend, he went and picked her up from school, brought her home. I get off school 12:45. I was doing homeschool that Monday. So right away when I got off the computer, we went straight down to the emergency. So we got there maybe about 2:20. They seen her, I think maybe like 5 o'clock. It had to have been after 5 o'clock, I believe they seen her. But I have my other 2 kids that are in school, 2 different schools. And I called up my dad, and I haven't asked my dad for a favor for a long time. He lives in the same city where they go to school at. And I said, hey Dad, are you busy? He's all, no. I'm like, okay, can you go pick up Junior and Isabel? And so he was able to do me that favor to go pick them up. So I was relieved because I had help on that part. My boyfriend now was already working. He couldn't help me no more with that stuff. He has to work. So anyways, my daughter, they seen her. What they did, they started an IV on her. They said that she needed to get some fluids. They did a blood test on her. They did a urine test on her. They brought her back and they did an ultrasound of the whole left side, of all her organs on her whole left side. And then they also did an x-ray on her. And I was like, wow, here it seems like they were really looking into everything. You know, I'm glad I brought her in there because I know that they were looking for anything possible. We were there probably, we left there, I think, about 8:30 at night. And the doctor said that her scans came back good. The x-rays were good. The blood test, it kind of showed that her sugars were a little elevated. She used to be a type 2 diabetic some years ago. And she was seeing the endocrinologist there at Children's Hospital. And about a year, and after that she went into remission. She didn't have it anymore. Right now she's still at a 5.5 A1C, so she's not diabetic, but her sugars was just a little elevated, maybe because she's probably sick. They found some sugars in her urine, and the doctor said it's probably acid reflux. So he said that he did the fastest referral over to the GI specialist. I still haven't got a call from them, but I have all their contact information. I'm going to give them a call today and see when I can get her into the doctor's office. Today she said she wasn't able to go to the bathroom and she's hurting a lot. So I just need to get her in, said to the GI specialist as soon as possible and see what's going on with her. And yeah, that's what's been my... I've been really, really busy with just her. I've been really, really busy with my son too on another thing, but the issue that he has, that's going to have to be something on another video, because that is something that's going on. It's not his fault, it's the dentist's office fault. But anyways, I'm almost to school, guys, and I'll talk to you guys all soon.